Hi, welcome If I Did It, a show where we analyze and solve PR kerfuffles from MMA world and beyond.
That's for the haters. I'm gonna huff and puff and I'm gonna blow your fucking house down. Sorry.
Tut, tut, tut.
Well, I'm dizzy now from that. Woo.
I'm your host, Alexiol. Joining me as always is Kid Native Bloody Elbow and Eugene-S. Robinson from Aussie.com and author of Fight, Everything Everyone Know About Ass Kicking, but we're afraid to get your ass kicked for asking.
Sir.
Now, Eugene, you're WME-IMG.
Am I sober?
We'll find out.
Okay.
Your UFC acquisition came with a lot of debt last year. So a mega fight between the UFC's Conor McGregor and boxing's Floyd Mayweather could be your financial salvation. Given Mayweather's notorious negotiation tactics and fight delays, how seriously should you take boxing promoter Bob Arum's offer for a Manny Pacquiao fight as a backup option?
If I'm WME, I'm super serious about that. Bob Arum is no friend to MMA, which means very specifically, Bob Arum is there for the money, and that's fine because at least, like Humphrey Bogart says in that movie, I'm a plain talking man. And Sidney Greenstreet goes, I like a plain talking man. I know where he stands. It's the quiet ones I worry about. Fucking Bob Arum, plain talking man, know right where he stands, and this prevents the fatalrization of this fight, because I got to tell you, these guys are a lot more fascinated with themselves and believe us to similarly be fascinated with themselves. But 6 months from now, I will actively oppose this fight. I will have hostile feelings about the fight, and I will shut it down like it needs to be fucking shut down. Everything has a time. You ever have like a woman who likes you and you kind of like her, and then you play your hand a little bit too long, and you miss that fucking bus, you miss that moment, and it's like, because she's not going to invest anymore. She was like, he doesn't fucking like me. I guess he doesn't like me. Whatever. I'll just move on. Fuck him. And
wait a minute.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, it's the same thing. In 2 years, Mayweather's not going to be any more exciting. In 1 year, he's not going to be any more exciting. In 6 months, like I said, he's not going to be any more exciting. This is about the now. And if you send back an unfulfilled McG, and he's got a fight MMA, which could not end well with him, depending if he goes up or he goes down. This is the moment to make this kind of money. And if Mayweather's saying, I got enough of that money, all we want to see is fucking essentially Conor McGregor. If you're a boxing fan, his ass handed to him. If you're an MMA fan, his ass handed to him. I mean, we're all about seeing Conor McGregor get his ass handed to him, and do not make us wait for Christmas for this to happen. So if I'm WME, I'm back channelizing. I got Jared Kushner or Ashton Kutcher or whoever the guy's name is. I got him on the stick, and he's having very serious discussions with Pacquiao right now.
How about you, Nate?
I gotta disagree with Eugene here. It's throwing me, but this is just nonsense. If Mayweather and McGregor is wolf tickets, this is wolf farts. This is nothing. They gotta focus. Eye on the prize, one negotiation at a time. If Mayweather gets wind that they're flirting with Pacquiao behind his back, it's all over.
Let him go. Farts.
If I'm WME, I let him fucking go. Go, beat it. Can't play these games with you. This fight is not valid 6 months from now. Nobody will give a fuck. No one will give a fuck.
Eugene's right about one thing. This is like a woman, and you don't want to create a woman scorn situation. Mayweather is worth a multiple of what Pacquiao is. Mayweather won their fight. Yep. Mayweather is the bigger star. You got to dance with the one that brung you. Land the fish that's on the line. Don't be looking at other fish that are surfacing and making sucky faces.
Yeah, but if Mayweather's fighting somebody else, nobody's as excited. Pete, you got to understand that this is bringing the spirit of the initial UFC writ large. I mean, people want to see, okay, pound for pound. See how badly Mayweather, McG gets beaten. I mean, people are super interested from both sides of the fences. This is not this carries a lot more juice than either a big MMA fight or just a big boxing match, I think.
So let me ask you this though.
Cornflower blue?
What's that?
Is your shirt cornflower blue?
No, it's darker than that, man.
So you know what cornflower blue is. I rest my case.
I was just agreeing with you because you were frightening me.
First, the silent mouth movements.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But let me ask you this, guys. So here's the thing. Remember we talking about the kind of things that Conor McGregor would engage in to get a rematch or to get out there early and preserve another payday. If they go with Pacquiao, does that mean that the stakes for tomfoolery exponentially increase because you're kind of like biding time for the fight people really want to see, or do you just take your ass kicking like a man?
Well, he's not going to make it beyond that fight, so it's immaterial. And in this, Kid Nate is right. You know, there's not nearly the entertainment juice with a Pacquiao. You know, I mean, that's
what I mean. That's why you get disqualified earlier. You know, fuck this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, listen,
your Pacquiao match and call out Mayweather. It's like, fuck this match.
Yeah, if you need, I'm sorry, I thought that was a Pacquiao imitation. We got to bring back that segment. That was a McGregor. And we got to bring back that segment. No, I mean, look, we all know what the thing is. We all know what the right thing is. I used to know a guy who worked out in my gym. I used to work out in Ridgewood, Queens, on the border between Brooklyn and Queens. He'd say, Eugene, let me tell you something. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're Chinese, you're Japanese. I don't care if you're tall. Yeah, I get it, Ray. I don't care if you come from Korea. I got it, Ray. I got it. He goes, I'm just telling you, do the right thing. And in this instance, doing the right thing is, doing the right thing is exactly what should happen. I mean, the fight is. I can't. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think the reason why you started getting caught up is because you were channeling the next question. You said Brooklyn and do the right thing. Nate, you're Spike Lee. NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick spent last season fighting the power by refusing to stand for the national anthem. Now, as a free agent, fans are bamboozled by his future until you stepped up as an inside man with an Instagram post, quote, big love shout out to the head coach Pete Carroll for signing my brother Colin Kaepernick to the Seattle Seahawks. The truth is on your side. Much success for the coming NFL season, end quote. Only problem? The Seahawks denied the rumor and you deleted your post. What's the best way for you to do the right thing, Spike?
I was going to make some reference. I was going to make a movie title reference, but you still do the right thing right there at the last minute. I heard bamboozled, and I was like, he's listed Spike Lee movie. So now all I got is Jungle Fever and no way to tie it in. No connection whatsoever. I think he can. I think that's what he says. Sorry, I had Jungle Fever, and he just writes it off. Just like lets it go. Because bury this one in a hole. Sometimes you fuck up, and you just. It's like farting in an elevator. You just leave and walk away. I don't think there's any. What's he supposed to say? Sorry, my sources were wrong, or sorry, I shouldn't have posted. I don't think there's an out here. I think the little man, for once, is fucked.
Tap out. What do you think?
So who am I? I'm Spike Lee in this instance?
Spike Lee.
Man, I hate that guy.
Because of heighdism? Is it because of heighdism?
Nah, I've hated it for a long time, man. I had 3 personal interactions with the guy, left him like just bad taste in my mouth. The last one specifically, you could Donna Shalala this, but you remember when I was editor-in-chief of Code Magazine, you wanted to put him in the issue. And he starts demanding a cover. I go, well, first of all, we don't give everybody covers. So, and we don't promise him because, you know, Jesus Christ could come want to be in the next issue and I got to bump you and then I'm in the shithole. So I can't promise you. And he's like, yeah, okay, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll do your little magazine. But I'll do it on one condition. I go, what's that? He goes, Stephen A. Smith does the interview with me. I won't talk to anybody else but Stephen A. Smith. So I went, bing, 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 bing. So he never appeared in Code Magazine like it hurt him. But then I had 2 face-to-face interactions that were exceedingly negative. So you put me in a tough position. If I'm Spike Lee, I set myself aflame and jump off a bridge. How about that? No, and I concur with Kid Nate. You know, you just blab them out, you just take your lumps, keep on going, make a movie that doesn't suck. How about that?
Man.
Bamboozle, my God.
You didn't like that one, man?
I haven't liked him since what was the best one that he did?
Do the Right Thing.
Yeah, Do the Right Thing, man.
Yeah, I would. I was gonna go for She's Gotta Have It, and then School Days sucked, and then Do the Right Thing. So I give him 2 movies, and then now that I'm out.
You know, I think School Days is one of these movies that I saw it before I went to Howard, and I was like, and then after I went to Howard, I was like, oh my God, like it's one of these movies. So nails the black college experience, like dealing with locals who have hostility towards the college boys, and you know, and all that.
That was Samuel Jackson's first claim to fame. So exactly. Things are connected, right?
You don't have anything against Giancarlo Esposito, do you?
No. From what I've heard, he's a good guy.
Okay, good grief, man. Well, Eugene, you're Jay-Z. Your music streaming company Tidal lost its 3rd CEO in 2 years. What PR moves do you need to make to keep your company afloat?
You may have you stumped Nate. You stumped me on this one. I mean, do you know anybody who listens to Tidal?
Nope.
Okay. I don't even know anybody who says they know somebody who listens to Tidal. I don't even know somebody who says they know somebody who knows somebody. So 3 generations removed, anybody who's listening to Tidal. It's like, you know, sometimes you can buy things and make things of them, but here in Silicon Valley, I drive by vestiges of the fucking past all the time, man. I remember my kids going to some soccer group, and I go, "Oh, there's Scott McNeely." Any of you guys know who Scott McNeely is? Nope.
Peter McNeely's brother.
Yeah, exactly. He used to be the head of
Sun Microsystems.
There you go.
Oh, ring the ding ding ding.
You know what's in their building now? It used to Alza and Sun Microsystems, Google. You know, Ford Aerospace. You know what's in their building? I mean, everything changes, man. And this is, you know, you're seeing this now. It's a tough business. It's not like putting out a record, the hippity hop record, and then you know you do a tour and then you buy a yacht. Not like that at all. Why should I listen to Tidal? Because you said so. Why? Like AI said. What? Practice? Why? You know. I mean,
they used to have exclusives. I think that's why they tried to get that whole thing by
giving
artist equity for like a month.
Yeah, you know what? Those guys are. This is a promiscuous business. So you got to sell right now. The Oxbow record. Ding 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 ding.
Working
the Oxbow record. You get a Spotify, you get Amazon, you get iTunes. You know, we're desperate.
And in different colors too.
Different colors. You got black, got clear, got red. So you know, so I don't know what he does. I mean, clearly at this point now, my Bible is Glassdoor.com. And I find it to be really super reliable. You go, you know, go take out the top, take out the top, and consider the bottom. But I find the reviews completely worthy. And you know, I know some CEOs who dismiss it as, oh, those are just disgruntled employees. Yeah, well, you know what? Happy employees are not writing that shit. So yeah, you know, so it's a number of disgruntled employees that you're generating that make it a serious issue. I heard from the guy who was the CEO of HBO today, had a real solid philosophy about how to be a CEO and a leader. It was pretty fucking inspirational. Him just talking about culture. But if you go through 3 CEOs in how much time? A year? You got problems, and you got the kind of problems that are not going to want to make me switch over my listening to fucking Tidal. If you're Jay-Z, what do? He can only do one thing. I am the CEO. Right. That's it. Yeah. That's it. That's his move right there.
What do you think, Nate?
Unlike Eugene, I have a plan for this one. First, he retires. He announces his imminent retirement. And then he goes on a last Tidal tour. and it'll be huge. That's the plan.
Big
Yeah,
league.
well,
Nothing? Crickets? Come on.
I think
so
that's
that's not bad. That's not bad. That's all
I
right.
think it's a good one. The title tour. That's true.
Yeah, you know.
You could go like that Lucius Lyons on Empire, that kind of stuff. You should channel that, man.
Something like that. I don't know what he can do, man. I mean, I think he shoots it in the head. I think the whole thing was misguided. The idea of signing exclusives on a streaming service, that's not how the shit works. People want their stuff and they want it where they want it. There's one winner. Spotify seems to have won the space. YouTube is a total competitor for music streaming, but everybody else is pretty much history. And I mean, I know what he should do. He should buy Neil Young's patented music sound system, whatever that was, the file type that Neil Young was so excited about.
I remember that. And
then maybe they could go on tour together and promise they're going to retire. Maybe they could go on tour with The Who, and they could all promise we're retiring at the end of this tour if you don't use our streaming service and use our MP3 replacement.
However, here, let me just introduce some of the conspiracy here. We're assuming for a second that he wants the business to do well.
Keep it going, Eugene.
I read something in Fortune that these two are billionaires now. You know, you might have a need for a pretty significant tax dodge. It doesn't involve the Cayman Island or Turks Caicos. So
interesting.
I mean, does he seem like he's bearing an extraordinary load of shame about the 3 CEOs and the stumbling company? It doesn't seem like he cares very much to me.
Because he has a vision, God damn it.
Vision is a tax write-off, the likes of which the world has never seen.
I just had a new idea. He hires Kanye West.
Yeah, they're having trouble, aren't they?
Hey, they're different people.
The fight to see who the true bull of the woods is.
Yeah.
Man. Well, speaking about lions and bulls, Nate, what can Tiger Woods learn from MMA in the wake of his DUI arrest?
You know, actually, this one isn't that hard. From MMA, he learns take a seat, take your round, take your full 5 minutes. Let's treat it like a low blow. Take your full 5 minutes, recover, get back out there, do some more golfing, putt, chip, the whole bit. I mean, he got a DWI. Who's that fat white guy that used to golf all the time that was always drunk? That had one move, he had a big drive, and that was it. Come on, you guys gotta know this.
That guy. Oh, my God.
He had a little Hitler mustache thing.
Yeah. No, he was always oh my God.
Right? He had a blonde Hitler mustache.
Steve.
Tom Daly?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Tom Daly was a fat drunk.
Tom Daly was not the fat drunk.
Fat fist fighting drunk was Tom Daly. I'm going to go with Tom Daly.
Fat drunk with the Hitler mustache.
Tom Daly. It was John Daly.
John Daly. Well, he was close enough. So
yes.
Still closer.
So that's all he does. Is I think Tiger is good for like 5-6 more DUIs before he even needs to think Betty Ford or anything. He just needs to Nick Nolte his way through this one. Just like, I was lit. You know, shouldn't have been driving. My bad. Totes my bad. See y'all on the links.
So when the ref asks him if he can continue, does he pull a Weidman and say, what month is it? Does he give the wrong month?
No, because he wants to keep fighting. So you just take your time. If the doctor asks how you're doing, I'm good. I'm good to go. I don't need an intervention. I don't need rehab. I'm ready to rock. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
I don't. Have you seen the new Tracy Morgan special?
No. I have it on my queue.
It's good to see. I won't ruin it for you, but he has a section where he does a bit about Tiger Woods, and he said, what a lot of black folks say, he's like, you know what? I didn't like when he came out as soon as he got on and said he's not black. Guy said, your father's name is fucking Earl. The only Earl Woods I know are selling fruit out of the back of my truck in my neighborhood. What do you mean? You know? So he does this whole extended riff about Tiger Woods. But, I'm going to say the obvious. And I'm going to say that, if we're going to use the MMA world, the underpinnings of the MMA world here, this is a moment like when you saw Chuck Liddell crumple to the fucking canvas and you were thinking, he should probably stop this.
Against Rampage or against Rich Franklin?
No, I'm thinking about the fuck Rampage one. I'm thinking. Yeah,
that was the first one. That was the first one.
Yeah, I thought he should go after that, man. You know, and you know, Tiger's not coming back. He's not coming back. What he needs, he's never going to get. Mike Thomas Brown started to have sort of similar problems. I can't figure it out. No matter how hard I train for a fight, I just can't get going for the fight. Finally, somebody probably suggested to him, maybe you're seeing the wrong type of doctor. And he was like, cool. He embraced it and started to see a head guy, a head doctor. And the outcome of that was Mike Thomas Brown is no longer a competitive MMA fighter. Mike Thomas Brown did the fucking manly thing and goes, you know what? Going. So you see me cage side, coaching my fighters. My contribution is singularly much more significant in this regard. You know, other avenues beckon. So long. See you later. And I think Tiger Woods he's not. It's like if you watch Crossover Dreams with Ruben Blades and he's talking about after he's made the rise and the fall, he's like, I'm going to tour this. And the bartender looks at him and goes, you're going to tour my ass. That's what you're going to tour. Tiger Woods, that's it. My ass. That's his future. That's it.
So you're saying he needs to get an acupuncturist?
Yeah, that would help. That would help. That's a start, you know.
Wrong kind of doctor. All right.
I mean, what I'm shocked by is that like who's that guy who said a Ghostface Killer? You go go on the intro to one of his songs, the Pretty Clyde or just Pretty Tony. He's like, you're gonna play that, you play it. You know, you're gonna be that guy, be that guy. I mean, I guess Tiger Woods is really not a scumbag. He just played one on TV because he's not been the same since he got booted out of the house. You know,
he's got a new house.
Got a new house. He's not the same, man. He's not the same. The perfect storm of the father dying. You know, don't underestimate the impact too of having to walk away from 2 kids under the age of 4, man. That shit's rough, you know. And then the physical problems, and then the alleged allegations of performance-enhancing chemical. You know, it's just a lot of shit. Guys unmoored.
Don't you think there's a possibility, though, with that it is all related, though, to painkillers and his back and all this kind of stuff? You know, like.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well, hey, listen,
it's a Brett
man.
Favre type.
The dude's in trouble because if you think between us how many narcotics have been consumed, and how many of us have smashed it through a tree and fallen asleep at the fucking wheel and then been fucking snagged by cops? Not me.
Not me.
And Alexis quiet.
Not me either.
Okay, you're a little slow on the uptake on that one. Oh yeah, not me. So, you know, dude needs help, and he's not a sports therapist either.
Man. So this brings us to our teachable moment. Eugene, your former Denver Post sports analyst Terry Frei. Your tweet about Takuma Sato winning the Indy 500, quote, nothing specifically personal, but I am very uncomfortable with a Japanese driver winning the Indianapolis 500 during Memorial Day weekend, end quote. Cost you your job. What can we learn from your blowouts on the track of life?
I don't know, man. It's like I was just telling somebody about this the other day. Jesus Christ. I was in some bar in Bordeaux, and there's a British guy in there, and he's speaking French with a British accent. But he's hanging, you know, he's doing well. And he's saying he's drunk in and he's holding court in this restaurant. He decides he's going to be the ambassador of the restaurant. And he's like, hey, you know what he said? They said, you know, bonjour, bonsoir, bonsoir. And as I get even with him, he says to me, I go, so long, buddy. And he goes, oh, a colonialist. I was like, 1776? you got to get over this shit, man. The first thing out of your mouth is a man from the colonies. I'm a man from the colonies. You got to let that shit go. People are fucking showing up to statues in New Orleans, complaining about dead Confederate war here. Got to let that shit go. This fucking weird tribalism shit. So he doesn't trust the Jap. What? He's pissed off about Pearl Harbor. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You know, but at the same time, you can walk down the street in Tokyo, try to get your shoes shine. If you're standing there with a Japanese woman, and if the older guy giving the shoe shine is an older Japanese guy, he's not gonna be happy about it. You know, at one point the Onion
shine my big black feet.
Oh, I stood right there and I asked her. I said, "What's wrong with him?" She goes, "I don't know. He's probably a little cranky." I go, "Cranky? He's the one who chose to be a fucking shoe shine guy." You know. She goes, "Well, you know, he's older." And I go, "You know," I said, "Ask him how his day is." So she's translating my torment to this old Japanese shoe shine. Fuck that guy. You gotta let go of this shit. You know, like
this is a good show, man. Translate my torment.
Translate my torment. So this guy is peeved because of what? Because of World War II? You know, and I told you that story. I got the Donna Shalala with it. My friend has a design company, and they signed a big multi-million-dollar deal, and we're celebrating in Tokyo. And they said, before we sign a deal tomorrow, let's have some drinks. And they start drinking, and one of the Japanese guys brings up fucking Nagasaki and Hiroshima, you know. And so one of the American guys stands up and gives a toast, a counter toast, says, "I just want to, you know, my grandfather who died in the Battle of Guadalcanal wants to thank you guys for bombing Pearl Harbor." And that deal didn't get fucking signed, right? Didn't get signed. All of these guys in this meeting were all under 40. They give a fuck. What do you care? You know? So, yeah, I'm glad this guy lost his job. And the more guys like that lose their jobs, you know, I punched a guy in the face once, and he was whipping this. He's another guy in a band, and he's whipping this shit up. He's using it to sell records online. And finally, I emailed the guy. He's a neighbor of yours, Nate. And I emailed the cat, and I said, "Listen, you know, this shit's out of control. I have no intention of stopping touring. Somebody's going to get hurt, and I'm not talking about fucking feelings. Do you want to stop this now, or do we just?" And he was like, "Are you serious?" I go, "Hey, man, in life, sometimes you do get hit. Sometimes you get hit. We just you could have hit me. In this instance, I hit you. Bygones be bygones. Move away. I got a band to get to. I got art to make. I don't have time for this shit. What do you say?" And he was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll squash it, you know." And then I told you that was a story the first part of the story when I'm standing in the middle of the sidewalk drinking a bottle of wine in Austin, and him and the guys from Ditch Witch are walking by me, and I pull the bottle down. I'm like waiting, and they just walk by me like I don't exist. I was like, perfect, you know. But the guy deserves to be fucking fired. And what I like is that this Trump America has given all the wingnuts fucking license to do this shit. You know, it's like it's 2017. Are you give a fuck about? It just blows my mind. Blows my mind. But you know, these guys are not integrated well into society. They're not. I mean, fundamentally, if this is a man who goes home and he's a happy man and loves his wife, I'm surprised.
Man, what do you think, Nate?
I mean,
oh, sorry. One guy just texted that he uses title. Never mind.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so fuck all that other advice.
We knew. I mean, the people that text you.
Our fans. Hey, our fans. Our viewers.
Our viewers.
Diverse cast of people integrated well into this thing we call life, baby. So
I mean, he's probably is he listening to it on the old Microsoft? Remember Microsoft's iPod?
Oh, he makes a really. I don't want to slow your flow, but we'll do it afterward. He makes a really compelling case for it.
Go ahead. Talk.
He says,
I got nothing to say about the yokel from Indiana and his racist nonsense.
He says, "I use Tidal. I have high-end headphones, and Tidal offers lossless audio, CD quality at 1440 kbs, and they have master quality recordings of albums on the desktop version. It sounds amazing on the right headphones. The problem is that the past 15 years have destroyed the idea of audio quality. The listening audience doesn't care. It seems pretty obvious he's trying to sell to Apple. Apple Music probably has the best curation of their music services." So
Man, for a second I thought Jay-Z wrote that, man. You trying to front like you don't know him.
Nah,
Shit.
the D man wrote that. So
Coming through, man. First coming through the MMA advice and now coming through with the title. Thank you, D-Man.
And
Nate.
Zune was Microsoft's thing.
right.
And I'm not comfortable with people with audio files and their nonsense. So nobody cares. Nobody can hear this. You're not a dog with hearing magical whistles that nobody else can hear. Just shut up. You're being suckered. You don't hear anything special. Your magical speakers are not any better than my earbuds. So go away. There.
Damn. Well,
this is just a music industry hater. This is a old guy from a band who's just cranky. Yeah.
So the crankiness shall continue because it is time for Kid Nate's heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
Dun,
I guess
dun,
2 in 1 episodes, right?
Yeah, there you go. I like this.
Today's heel turn, Houston Chronicle and Channel 2 in Houston peddling fake news, running with bullshit that it didn't even spend 5 minutes checking out. Some group pops up on Facebook, calls themselves Texas Antifa, and announces that they're going to protest the Sam Houston statue and going to have a big rally demanding that the statue of Sam Houston be taken down from Houston. Little fact, Sam Houston, yes, he did own slaves. He also voted as governor of Texas. He lost his job because he did not want Texas to secede. So Sam Houston is not in the Robert E. Lee category. In fact, he's the anti-Robert E. Lee, and they knew people would go for this. They knew that everybody thinks they're just that little touch smarter than somebody else, and they hear, what? Those commies are protesting Sam Houston? Why, Sam Houston wasn't even for the Confederacy. And sure enough, Houston Chronicle, Channel 2 in Houston, run with this big time. Turns out it's a scam being run by alt-right Nazi types just looking to stir up shit and cause trouble. They might be looking to trick people into signing up who are dumb and would-be Antifa activists. They might be looking this. Coincidentally, they announced their rally was going to be the same day as a anti-Sharia law, a.k.a. Islamophobic, hey, libtards, if you're not really scared of Islamic jihad, we're going to stab you on the train. That's basically the mentality. And so, that's the heel turn. Fuck some lazy-ass, weak official news sources, professional journalists that don't even bother to go on Facebook and realize this Texas Antifa thing is obviously patently fake.
I thought Sam Houston was a shitty wrestler in the old NWA territories, man.
Hey.
Learn something new every day.
And thin ice, Brooklyn. Thin ice.
So, Eugene?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Tick tock, tick
for the
tock,
Lost
tick
Battalion?
tock.
Well, you had an interesting take, and you mentioned it in the notes before we did the show, but that you wanted me to specifically address some of the stuff I talked about on Knuckle Up, right?
Yes.
All right. So you want to give people a lead in, the people who are fucked up enough not to watch Knuckle Up?
Knuckle Up, one for the ages. We're talking about MMA journalists of the century material, all right? Because clearly the quality for MMA journalists of the year is not really, So, the fascinating thing about it is Eugene did a post-UFC Fighters Summit post-analysis, looking at how the behaviors of WME during the summit reflects an even sorrier state for the fighters than people thought at first glance. So, Eugene.
Yeah, I mean, I remember at one point dating this woman, right? And when I first saw her, it was like the first woman I dated when I came to California. I didn't know anything about California girls. She had dolphin shorts on, big giant titties, like a beach girl, right? And I remember just casual. It was not a casual disregard. I really liked her, but it was laziness on my part. And I said something that I kind of thought that she would not. I wasn't consciously thinking that she would get it, but I also hadn't ruled out that she might not get it. And she grabbed it, embraced it, analyzed it, and kicked it back to me all in like 10 seconds. And I actually had a moment where I thought, oh yeah, I go to a school with smart people. You know, I had to. So these guys roll into this fucking summit, right? And they are where every Sharpie manager was in boxing back in like 1968. And it's like, you know, we all know that the provenance of most MMA fighters is distinctly different from the initial provenance of, you know, boxers. A lot of boxers maybe started boxing and boys. I mean, it's a gross generalization, but you know, I fought one guy in this MMA match I had against a boxer who went to University of Minnesota on a boxing scholarship. You can go to college on a wrestling scholarship, not really boxers. Boxers come up different ways. So in the 60s, you had fucking boxing managers who would just flee. I mean, the Joe Louis story is one of the saddest sports stories ever. I don't care how much they want to go back to the Bronx Bomber to sing the guy's praises. That guy was raped hard, like Ulysses S. Grant said, been fucked and I can feel it. And he was taken, you know, okay, that's what boxing managers thought with the age of Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, you know, Mayweather's like, I'm not going to end up like my father. I'm not going to end up like, you know, you guys are not playing me. I'm making the money. Even when I interviewed Evander Holyfield, he was like, HBO or was it Showtime, they hate me because I'm making the deals. Of course, in the end, they got him anyway. Things didn't work out for him. But you can't roll into this thing and think that you've got 345 dummies on your payroll and roll in so hard that you show up drunk at 9:30 in the morning with a beer in your hand, something you on either side of that event you don't do. If you are at the day before the event, when you're at corporate headquarters at your desk, you're not walking through the office drinking a fucking beer at 9:30 in the morning. The day after, if you still have a job, you're not can't treat these fighters. You're about to see a fucking palace revolt, and you know, a Bastille Day, you know, 1776. Apropos, we come back around to that again. You know, it's no joke. Who is the fighter that you guys wrote about in Bloody Elbow today who flipped out at the event? The guy whose name, he was like clearly a don't care. He's got his arm is fucked up now, Kalen or Johnson, something like that. And it was like,
Caleb Johnson.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit. You're pissing on my head and you're telling me it's rain. Fuck you. And then he's like, afterward, he was afraid, but he's a fighter. It's like Bill said in Kill Bill, I'm a paid assassin. When I get angry, what do you think is going to happen? You know, these guys are fighters. At some point, somebody from the card for the 50% off, you know, so Lost Battalion.
It's not Caleb.
Yeah. You know, Lost Battalion, these guys, the week ago, I was all hyped up on the fight, and I thought, oh, they're making some good. Like I said, it's like Syria. There are 5 civil wars afoot in the fucking UFC, and it's not entirely clear to me that the betas, the people really on either side, on the WME side or still on the UFC side, are interested in I don't know if they'll succeed. I don't know that they'll succeed pushing against the alphas who are fucking complacent and already rich, whether or not the company goes on. And I don't know that they'll succeed in defeating the efforts of the disgruntled C class. I don't know if they're going to win, but I got some news to you. Baseball is a fucking institution. Football in America is an institution. Baseball can kill itself with a strike like it did twice, and it'll still have fucking fans. Once we leave MMA, we're not coming back. I used to be into wrestling, you know, pro wrestling. Chief J Strongbow. You know when Chief J Strongbow lived? It was like 1975. I'm not into fake wrestling now. You know, it could be in the future that this MMA thing was this kind of cool, kind of cute anachronism, and I'll tell my grandkids, you know, I wrote some book. Is this thing that they used to do? 4.2. You don't think $4.2 billion companies go in the toilet? They do. Just like I said, in Silicon Valley, I have to drive by Excited Home. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. I have to drive by fucking L'Oreal, Ford Aerospace, Sun Microsystems, Alza, Silicon Graphics. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. $4.2 billion companies go out of business all the fucking time. Start treating these people with some fucking respect because they're not dummies. You know, so that's, if you want Lost Battalion, I'm seeing the whole thing mystified, you know.
Well, it's kind of wild too, because you're talking about an event as well. I mean, this is what really hit me as well when you talked about, number one, the people they brought in to speak to the fighters and just the total disregard that a lot of them had for the fighter, right? So like these are individuals who are there supposedly for the fighters, like jazz them up and make them feel excited. Didn't happen. And then at the end, the goodie bag analogy you gave, so on point. Whenever you go to any kind of event where there's a care for you, they make sure to put the cherry on top. You had a good time at the event, you're feeling good, and here's something good for you to take home and look back on and have fond memories of what you went through and stuff you can use in the future.
Because they didn't even try. Like I said, at Code Magazine, we had the top end Nokia phone put in the gift bag. Why? Because somebody on my staff called Nokia and said, we have this high fashion promotion. Do you want to be involved? And they were like, well, how many do we have to give? We said, how about 100? That was boom, easy for them to do. Easy. That means nobody in this $4.2 billion company called anybody worth the fucking damn. So you're telling me every single corporation in America who could have put something in that bag didn't put anything in that bag. They didn't put anything but that fucking card. It means you guys are not fucking trying. And if you're not trying, you know what? You're talking about people, like I said, blood, sweat, and tears. And if you got Miocic has got a job and they try to spin that shit like he likes to hang with his brothers putting out fires. Bullshit. He likes a fucking paycheck, a routine paycheck. Health insurance for the whole family. I don't have to worry about my kids. I can pay for the private school or whatever. It is a chandra. It is a mockery of a travesty of a fucking sham. And I was hoping that they were going to use this summit to do something that they should have really fill that place with fighters, fill it with casting agents. You know, fill it with corporate,
brand representatives. They have a lot of contacts in the industry. Like you said, you can't bring together individuals, tastemakers, and individuals looking and salivating for fighters, or like you said, months before, like fighter groupies. The people that go to these celebrity owners, that allegedly love the sport and would love to rub elbows with some real tough guys.
If you have people sitting on the fence, the brands are not quite sure, you lure them with something else that you have ready access to, your fucking coterie of celebrities. All you need is like 5% of those to be A-list folks. The rest could be B-list, like Zac Efron. Is he B-list? In my mind, he's B-list. Zac Efron would have shown up. And you got a sprinkling of A-list cats in there. Get the Dwayne. He's got a movie, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Get him there. I mean, it could have been the fact that they fucking blew it is proof positive that I am not crazy. How could you blow it? How could you blow it?
Another thing that I thought was really a good take from the show as well is Germaine Durand-Me, and one of the secret unspoken reasons why she's so reticent to fight Cyborg, which is
can't get time off from fucking work. Another belt-holding champion who's got a job. I got this from Sorrell, but I remember her saying she wanted to be a cop. She was studying to be a cop. She can't get the time off from fucking work, right? Because I got to go do a press tour. It's not just showing up for the fight. I got to train to do the fight. What if I got to work overtime? You know what? What do you write in your tax return? What do you write? You write fighter? Nope. Right. Stipe writes fireman, and she writes fucking cop, and fighting is a hobby because why? You tell me why. Because it's not a job. It's a hobby. It's a job. Oxbow for me, hobby. Okay, I can't live off of Oxbow. Hold on.
Wait, do you claim Oxbow expenses on your taxes?
When I license the record, like all of our stuff is licensed to Hydrahead, I certainly do claim it on my taxes.
I see.
Well, the thing also is which is fascinating too about the whole dynamic with the fighting as well is, it's funny, like as a fan of boxing and football and the nostalgia we have for the old days, right? Like when they didn't have as many rules as they do now, and real tough guys and like in there like knocking it out like Tombstone on the or Night Train on the football field, just like lariating people and clotheslining them and do all kind of crazy ass shit. Like you had to earn every yard, but those guys weren't paid. Like they had day jobs and would play football. Sometimes they'd have to take off to play football, and so we're actually watching.
Yep.
We're watching a sport that is in the Stone Age in terms of compensation for the individuals, where a couple are making a lot of money, a couple, really, right? And the fact that it's just individuals, your champions have to fucking have day jobs.
Yeah.
And they can't fully commit. The thing that trips me out is even when Anthony Johnson, like you said, here's a guy who's like, he knocked out the two guys that were fighting in the main event this past weekend. He knocked their asses out, right? Made them completely unworthy of a title shot through the power of his fist. And for this guy to say, like, yeah, I'm not really even a fighter. I mean, just imagine, like, an MMA, like, to have an opportunity where individuals from childhood, I want to be a mixed martial artist. This is what I want to do. This is my dream. Fuck football. Like, oh, I do football on the side, do a little basketball, but MMA, that's what I want to do. So you look at those blue chip athletes into mixed martial arts. They're not going to come if you don't pay their asses.
Nope.
And so you're talking about, like you said, this whole era.
It's a chain.
Like, you got to totally, right, you have to totally be a hardcore nut and a dumbass to a certain degree if you are a blue chip athlete and say, hey, guess what? You know what? I'm going to forego the possibility of making money as a basketball player, guaranteed money, or even non-guaranteed money as a football player. Yeah, I'm going to do some MMA instead, where I can make like 20-20.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it is. They should have paid those guys a long time ago. And I thought that this far into the WME ownership that they would be bringing some sort of parity in, and they just did. Like I said, I think the forces you have, it's a civil war, and you got the alphas, you got the betas, and you got the disgruntled D class, C class. And I'm not seeing the people who really want to make this shit work. I don't see them having an upper hand here, because I don't see it happening. I just don't see it fucking happening. And it's okay, here, maybe I'm a little crazy here, right? I got an idea. Going into September, why don't we do this? We made some mistakes. Let's do another summit. Who's showing up for that?
Right.
Who wants to show up for that? Who believes in it? Why did you dig yourself a hole now that you gotta? It shows real fucking laziness and real, just real sloppy. Companies go out of business all the time. Big ones, man.
Well, they're showing exactly how they feel about it. That's the thing. Is the hope was WME is acquiring the UFC. Right. So they're going to leverage Hollywood, star power, contacts, and make this sport a blue chip sport. They're going to bring in blue chip sponsors. They're going to bring in revenue streams for these fighters and busting their asses, hoping for a payday. Right? Here's some hope. We're finally going to be taking care of his fighters. But at the end of the day, you saw exactly how like you said, hey, look at my monkeys over here. Hey, look at hey, they're fighting. Look at that fighting.
Right.
You want to see some more monkey action? Or is that a sign that they couldn't sell Hollywood on the monkeys?
It's
Maybe that could be it.
It's all on them. Like I said, 5% A-list, the rest B-list, celebrities. You got every single hanger-on, every deal maker, every casting agent showing up because it's their fucking business. And if they happen to meet an engaging fighter in the process, that's what the thing is for. Yep. And honestly, I got to tell you, I feel the same way about fighters fighting at the summit as I do about people fighting at fucking shows. You know, if you're in a band, yeah, it might be a momentary blip of excitement that you see two people swinging on each other in the show, but fundamentally, I think it's a sign that nothing interesting is happening on stage. That's why they're fucking fighting, because if something interesting is happening on stage, nobody's fucking fighting. Nobody's moving. They're breathing. They're watching, So, you get people there. If there were A-list people the fighters were just agog to see, you think they'd be taking swings at each other? Right. Yeah. It's like, I could slap this, but oh shit, look who's I want to get to fucking Tom Cruise, whatever, was here. They just didn't try. They just didn't try. And they think that fighters wouldn't notice or not care. Now this is the real way a union gets started. This cat stands up, complains. Joe Lazon, especially articulate, says, well, he's trying to play sort of the company guy. He's the interpreter. He's somebody they can work with. this is the way it works. That bullshit that they were starting before, that was a pig that wouldn't fly straight. But this is how the outrage has finally fucking peaked and bubbled over. And fuck these guys. You multi-fucking millionaires. It's like, and the Reebok bears some fucking responsibility for this thing too. Everybody. You can't have all these fucking people going home rich and fighters are going home worried about how they're going to pay the car note. It's not a fucking joke, you know? I mean, I can't have a flat tire in any given month because that shit is good to replace that tire. I got to place the rim and get it balanced. That sets me back $140 that I don't have every fucking month. It's not a joke. It's like, you know, you could do no. And I'm training. If I'm a pro fighter, I'm training twice a day. And what? I got to camp and what? And then I lose a fight, God forbid, and then my back hurts and I got to, nah, man, you got to pony up.
Right, all right, yeah. It's a raging owl situation you talked about months ago where it's like, honey, the fence needs to be fixed. When are you going to fix that fucking fence? And you're like, shit, you know, like you got to fix that fence and you got to bust it up back, you know? So it's
one thing if you say, you say, hey, man, there's no money here. There's no money here. It's like my friend who used to work for Curtis F. Wong shining his Rolls Royce and saying, could a man lose $10,000 a week and still be in business as he shines the Rolls Royce and a single tear drops down his cheek and not, not giving my friend a nickel raise, allegedly. I mean, it's just, the haves and the have-nots, man. It's just a completely different fucking world. And I mean, while I enjoy it with the Trump voters who are now systematically watching all their Medicaid benefits fly out the window, it's like, wait, and the guys at Carrier who thought Trump was bringing back jobs and find out they're all getting laid off come June. You know what? The small businessman always takes it in the ass. And in this instance, these are independent contractors and they're going to take it in the ass. Why? Don't stick around for this. Leave. Fuck, do something else,
Man.
I mean, I'm saying this about a sport I love because it's how can we're all sitting in the back seat of a car and we're waiting for somebody to start driving. There's nobody fucking driving. How come Ari Emanuel's not handling this? It's his name on it at this point, but then maybe we got to go back to the Jay-Z thing. Maybe that's not in the plan. Maybe that's not what they want.
And that's when to grow on. Nate, do you have anything to add to that?
I almost made Ronda Rousey my heel turn, but listening to Knuckle Up and realizing that she had a good excuse with the job thing, that made me change. So
it shows you like how bad it is when you're a fucking champion. You're like, yeah, I'm dropping down to 135. The fuck?
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to be a champion. Feel like, oh, you're scared. It's like, no, like I'm going to have to be in a serious ass fight, get my ass beat, make it competitive, and then still have to fucking go to work like the next week.
And you can't, given the nature of the web, what's she going to say? I think I'd be sick on Friday.
Right, yep.
Sick on Friday? I just saw your fight on fucking TV. Yeah, I was just a 24-hour flu. Nah, you can't.
Or like, coming into work, like putting in your teeth back in and holding it in place. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I slipped. Oh my God, what happened?
Yeah, no shit. So it's, I mean, it's, and this is, I mean, we are the last kind of truly free voices in MMA because, other folks are, I mean, we're not drawing paychecks on this stuff. So, I mean, we have no reason to fucking lie to you, but I'm just telling you from the outside. I mean, I've been part of a lot of corporations, Intel, Adobe, Apple, Nikon, a lot of corporations.
Hustler.
LFP, which would be Hustler. Yeah. So, Larry Flint Publications. So, I don't think I've been part of a company that, I don't think I've been part of a single company that would blow it as badly as I've been going to corporate events since my fucking 20s, and I've not seen one that was as badly done as WME. And I guarantee you, if they had taken that thing 10 miles across town and it was just a Hollywood media event, they wouldn't have fucking blown it. They wouldn't have fucking blown it. You know why? Because if people who they rep, that A-list, that 5%, the wind blows crooked, they look at you cross-eyed. They go, "Hey, could you get somebody from CAA on the phone, please? Could you? I just want to examine my options. They do the Hollywood fade, the chimp chill out. You guys don't need me. You don't need me at William Morris. You're fine. I got options to pursue at CAA. I'm gonna go there. That's why they don't fuck up with those guys. They think about fighters. Where are they gonna go? Where are they gonna go to Bellator? Yeah. Doesn't mean you treat them like shit, man, because they'll go other places. Yeah, I'm a fireman. Fuck you."
Well, on that happy note, thank you for joining us. Follow us on Twitter at EUGENE'S Robinson, at Kid Nate, at Alexi Old. Please give us a thumbs up, Eugene. Leave comments on YouTube. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube, MMA Nation on iTunes. Visit Bloody Elbow. Buy Oxbow's album. I was rocking it this weekend. Memorial Day.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Even using it as a music lesson for my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. So what happened is we're doing this thing where, different kinds of musical and vocal styles that singers engage in. And I said, let me play you some for a second. And so we're driving, and I put in Thin Black Duke, and she hears it. She's really feeling it. And then I said, you know who that is? I said, who? She said, Eugene. That's Eugene?
There you go. Good kid. Oh, you have the vinyl or you have the CD?
I have the digital version.
Okay, because in the vinyl, there's secret messages scratched around the
I'm
just telling
When's it coming out on 78, Eugene?
There's always one guy like that. You stay at the merch. Burns up your time.
When's it Title?
You stay at the merch table for like 10 minutes. Fucker, can I see this? Can I see that? He goes, you got the record. Yeah, but I'm only buying stuff with 78. I'll kill you. I got my hands on you. I'll kill you.
Are you on Title?
Yeah,
on Title?
Yeah, exactly right. Actually, at this, I don't know. I'll ask the D-man. I'll ask the D-man if he can find it on Title. I don't think so, because we're not signing any exclusive. So,
for past episodes of the show, check out our If I Did It playlist on MMANation.com, and be sure to check out all three of us on Amazon.com. We'll be back next week for another installment, If I Did It, and we don't know what we're going to be talking about yet because the PR mistakes have yet to be made.